That lady's got a set of lungs right there. Deanna Wheeler, Through the Fire on Austin, Texas Country, Coke FM. And I've got her on the phone. Deanna, how you doing?
Great, Scotty. How are you?
I'm doing great. You actually have moved to Dallas, and I can't believe you left Austin, but it's okay. We'll get over it.
I know.
But you've got a lot of stuff going on this week and next week, and a lot of stuff to come. You've got a new song dropping tomorrow, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But the main reason you're in town right now, well, it's your birthday weekend, so happy birthday. And
thank you.
Tomorrow, and are you doing Saturday as well? It's the Hometown Heroes out at Brushy Creek Amphitheater right there where we did Coke Fest. So we're opening up on Friday night tomorrow, but now you're hosting the whole thing. How cool is that?
I am. It's going to be a blast. So I'm going to be the co-host with this guy, Jersey Goldman.
Mm-hmm.
We have great personalities together. It's going to be infectious. It's going to be fun.
Well, that's great. And how did you come about that? Because I know you're doing a lot of interview stuff too now, and you're kind of getting out of just the music. But did they hear you on one of your interviews, or did they know about you, or how did this come about with you actually getting to MC this thing?
Well, they know what I've been doing outside of music, it's still in the industry, but they also, we were talking about it because I was opening, and then they inquired, hey, this is what you do now, you MC, right? I'm like, yes, I do. And then we just decided that I was going to co-host with him, and it just kind of came about organically. Well,
congratulations. And if you want to practice on me, we can, because you're interviewing, you're introducing Nelly, Snoop Dogg. What we get, Stoney LaRue, and then Saturday the lineup is like Randy Rogers, Josh Abbott band.
Rogers. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
I want you to practice introducing Snoop Dogg with me right now. Can you do that?
Can I call him Snoop-a-Loop or no?
No, I don't know. He's got every day he's got a different name. So
D-O-double-G?
D-O-double-G, something like that. So I have no clue how you would actually introduce Mr. Dog.
You know what? Do people call him Mr. Dog? I'm curious about that.
I call him
Mr. Dog.
I call him Mr. Dog just because I respect the heck out of the guy. But it's funny because the last time he played in the area, he played at the Del Diamond, which is literally right here in front of my house, and so we could hear the music, the bass rumble, and then once the wind blew this direction, we could smell the concert. So it's a double-edged thing going on. So it's a lot of fun out there.
Oh yeah, it is. And he was actually at Hot Mess Music Fest as well last year.
Yeah.
And I opened for that as well, but that was at noon. So it was one of those moments when you're like, hey, I get to, but there's not many people there yet, but it was just such an honor. And now, not only do I do open early at 3:30, but I also get to remind everybody throughout the whole show who opened.
And that's pretty cool. And it's you're kind of breaking out of just the Austin area. Now that you live in Dallas, now you're getting too big for us, and you're emceeing these giant concerts and stuff.
No.
And
I'm not getting too big for anybody's britches.
Don't forget about our little people down here.
There was a lot going on that Austin is great for music for everybody. I always had to commute back and forth to Dallas.
Yeah.
I started hosting a stream show called Agents Survive, and it got picked up by Dallas Music Network, and I had to be out there twice a week for some video recording in the middle of the week, and then it just kind of happened that way. And I don't know, this may be some TMI, you never know, but because of my hospital stay and paralysis,
right,
there was issues with my house, and I had to move. So
yeah,
it's cheaper in Dallas. My music's right there. A lot of things were going on that I needed to be a part of, but I come back here every week, and I will never, ever, ever forget about my Austin community and how they picked me up when I was down.
It's so crazy that it's cheaper to live in Dallas than Austin. Who'd have
I know,
thought?
Right?
Who'd have thought that 10 years ago?
And not just that, the availability is so much more out there than there was here. I mean, anybody wants to live in Austin.
Right.
And the housing goes so fast. You see a rental house that you like, or even a house for, to purchase that you like, and it's just gone in 30 minutes.
Well, I'm happy for you because, we've known each other for a while, but it's like you're blowing up, and this thing I think is going to be a launching pad for other things, emceeing this concert. And now I'm going to be, calling you every day and saying, hey, can you can you hook me up and you can help me out now, and then I'll bring you on the show, right? And you can co-host the Texas Nights. That's right. But so tell me now, the other big thing we talked about was you got a song that is going to be released tomorrow. And are you tying it in any way with the Hometown Heroes thing, or is it just going to be, just happens to be that day that you're releasing?
Well, it's my birthday, so that's the happenstance of the release date.
Right.
And it was actually pushed back because my accident. Yeah. So it was going to be on a show that I was doing in the beginning of September to release it. It was the release party, but then my accident happened 2 days before that show, so that show did not go on as planned. So I pushed it back to September 25th, my birthday, and It just happened to be the day that I am opening for Snoopaloop. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's funny, and I'm going to say it the whole time. Everybody's going to follow me, I promise you.
Well, so, that's awesome. And tell me about the song.
Yeah. So it's called Light Up to Live. And a couple years ago, there was this man, Randall Reed, who has Prestige Ford and a bunch of other Fords, but he has this foundation called Light Up to Live. And it was right after I started walking again that I started communicating with this foundation, and we had worked it out to where I wrote a song for his foundation. And I finally get to release it, and I'm giving 10% of the proceeds to Light Up to Live Foundation, which helps veterans get some therapy that they need. He also has this light therapy that's good for PTSD and TBI, and he donates those systems to veterans through this foundation. So it was the first song I actually ever wrote about asking God for help.
Wow.
Whatever higher power anybody believes, but it was in the heat of my paralysis. It's just, you know what? It's time to bow your head, and it's time to beg for mercy and figure out what life's about when you're, being kicked down. You can get back up, kind of thing. It's definitely about perseverance and tenacity. And
if you don't know, Deanna Wheeler was a veteran is a veteran, and you were in the hospital. How many years ago was that you were paralyzed, just couldn't walk one day? And how long did that take? Only 2 years ago?
Yep, only 2 years ago.
And it seems like it's been longer. Wow. And you completely recovered.
2018. Yes.
And at the time, you didn't know what had caused this. You just one day couldn't walk. And, once they figured out what it was, you went through the process, and now you have recovered. But that was a scary period in your life. And, I mean, I've got an issue with my legs as well, but I can't imagine just completely not being able to walk when you're completely healthy one day and you're not the next. And you got through that, and these people helped you out, and you are a veteran. So this is your time to give back, and I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you. It was definitely a scary time, but I believe, honestly, more and more nowadays that everything happens for a reason, and it gave me a platform to help other people. And, just what I went through did bring some hope into some people's lives, and people still communicate to this day saying, like, I watched your story, and you gave me so much hope that I could keep going, and I recovered from my illness. And, it's something when you get to inspire other people to keep going.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was just like everybody else, and yep, you all would have fought really hard, but some people can't, and they need a little outside help, and I'm glad to be that. And I hope my music can change their thought process and help them transform their own mental capacity as well.
Well, that's great, and we're going to talk to you again about the song in the next week or two. Anyway, we'll do a separate interview for that, but I wanted to just get you on today because you've got this big thing going on this weekend, and tomorrow and Saturday out at the Brushy Creek Amphitheater, it's the Hometown Heroes concert. Now, they're doing one of these in Lubbock and also in North Dallas, and they're also having some video streaming coming in with some of the bands, but it's going to be a huge show. Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Stoney LaRue, you tomorrow, and then Saturday, Josh Abbott Band, Randy Rogers, and more. So it's an incredible show. It's an incredible opportunity, and congratulations and happy birthday tomorrow. And
thank you.
Glad you got to join me tonight, and keep in touch and let me know how this goes. And then we'll talk soon about your new song, and we'll get it on the radio too, because I listened to it earlier, and it's a great song. And it's you've got some pipes, your vocal range, and just you put everything into a song, and it's pretty cool.
Thank you so much. It's definitely my passion in life. I wasn't meant to do anything else but be a mother and be on stage and show people my music.
And host a podcast and do interviews and host concerts. And what are you going to do next? What's next for you?
I'm hosting the Grammys next. Watch.
You just watch.
Happen.
All right, everybody. Deanna Wheeler, and she be out there, like I said, Brushy Creek Amphitheater tomorrow and Saturday, and tell her happy birthday. And then we'll be listening for your new song, and we'll be talking about that soon as well. So thanks for joining me tonight, and hey, knock 'em dead tomorrow.
Thank you, Scotty, and I always love my Coke FM family.
Well, we love you too, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, Deanna Wheeler, and we will keep this going. And more information about that, we'll be talking about it tomorrow as well. The Hometown Heroes concert out in Hutto. They're saying it's Austin, but it's actually in Hutto at Brushy Creek Amphitheater, where we did Coke Fest for many years, and we skipped it this year, but we'll be back next year with Coke Fest there as well. But it's a huge show. All the details, cokefm.com. But once again, thank you, Deanna Wheeler, and we'll be right back with more great music here on Texas Nights.